maybe best of 5 once we get into the top 8. I am
These are,
personally surprised, by the way, to see Beastly rocking the duck. Not surprised to see him have it because
he played it in low tiers yesterday.
And won.
Yeah.
Won the whole freaking bracket. But not generally what I think of, because normally I also think of like the Fox, the ZSS as like his main killers. But I mean, dude, if you're talking about Beastly, forget it. He can play literally every single character on the roster except for like Wolf for some reason. Oh, also, I mean, if Beast Mode Tarun made an appearance and we saw the Falcon or the Incineroar, I mean, geez, he's got the deepest pockets that you can imagine. SHADIC, on the other hand, has the Corrin and the Peach, I think, as most people would expect. The Marth I was not as familiar with.
No, I wasn't exactly expecting the Marth to come out. Obviously, like, we've seen SHADIC's Peach at a couple local or regional level events when he feels like pulling her out. And it does have the Mute seal of approval. I am aware of this fact. But I wasn't expecting the Marth. Again, like, SHADIC is so, well, we're not going to be seeing the Marth anymore, but I was going to say, like, SHADIC is so proficient with, like, just the micro-spacing that is required to play Corrin that Marth is kind of like an understandable extension of that character. But now the tried and true is coming out. SHADIC putting his best character at the middle of his lineup. Not usually something that you see in Squad Strike. Usually people will either lead with their best or end with their best. SHADIC, though, he's got a little bit of a different strategy, and we're going to see how it pays off. At least for now, though, he's got to take out Beastly's Doc still.
Which, you know, Beastly is still staying alive. Don't know for how much longer, but he is a bit of a chunky boy, so he's able to stay alive up until this 163. And against SHADIC, right, who famed for a lot of those kill confirms and everything, but Beastly kind of playing a little bit hard to get. Could be done soon, but still not able to time that pin. It's not something that's super reliable. You don't have any frame kills or anything that you can do to set that up because of just how recoveries work in this game. And Beastly, man, hanging on to 185 and hasn't put on any damage against SHADIC for like a minute straight. And that just goes to show, like you're talking about, just how good this Corrin is.
SHADIC, unfortunately for him, like, you were talking about, it's very difficult to time that instant pin 2-frame on the ledge, and you would think that, like, just looking at Doc as a character, you would think it would be easy against Doc, but it's actually harder than most characters against Doc, because his up B is frame 3, so it's almost impossible to react to that. You have to call it out ahead of time, and SHADIC was unable to do so, but eventually he found the kill, brought out Beastly's Ness, and now Beastly's Ness is just giving him the work, looking for the up air off the platform reset. Not going to find it, but that might have been the stock, and this will be instead. Magnet into back air. Beastly doing it big.
Beastly has got one of the flashier Nesses out there, and this is the character that he's had by far for the longest in this game. It definitely came up playing Ness, played the character in Smash 4. You know, and a lot of people know him for like the Diddy Kong, or even back when he beat Fatality at Low Tier City 7. You know, he played the Pokemon trainer. That is a big callback. I mean, it goes to show you how long Beastly's been playing the game. But man, this Ness has been around for so long, and you were seeing why it has continued to stick around. I mean, this Peach has not been able to have like a single answer for what Beastly has given him. Love that DI down to get out of the PK fire, but it is to no avail. That Ness is just a wrecking ball.
Yeah, I mean, the Dr. Mario did its work, took out the Marth early on, and then it couldn't really stand up to the Corrin, right? Like, SHADIC's Corrin went pretty much untouched against Beastly's Doc, but then the Ness came out, and it felt like the first character didn't even matter. Like, the Ness is, you said it, a wrecking ball. I think that's a very apt description because it just wiped out the rest of SHADIC's lineup. Now, that's game one going down to Beastly. Not actually all that expected. Like, of course, Beastly, a great player, been Texas PR for literally forever, right? But SHADIC, the young gun, came up semi-recently and definitely like made his name known across the singles game, at least, because of that Corrin.
I mean, you talk about both of these players. You know, I was referring to Low Tier City 7, right? Both of these players really had their breakouts at that tournament. Beastly beat Fatality there. SHADIC beat Danby, had one of the most legendary pop-offs that we saw, like, pre-pandemic,
I remember
right?
the Datic pop-off more than the SHADIC
12-year-old SHADIC and his dad, older than 12 at the time, both...
Maybe 13.
Maybe, yeah, I mean, it had to be at least, right? But, you know, both of them so excited back then. And now, you know, we get to see them face off a few years later. And, you know, you say that, you know, Beastly taking that first game as a prize. Me, personally, I don't know about that. Because I know that SHADIC's Corrin is so good, and we've all seen that. But, I mean, Beastly is, you know, overall in the national scene, just not quite as renowned. But he's so good. And like I was talking about earlier, so good with so many different characters. He's just got fighting game and particularly Smash fundamentals that are so unmatched. A lot of people don't know this, but he's also incredibly good at Melee.
Wait, the biggest thing I would say about Beastly is not that he's, like, underrated. It's more that he doesn't travel enough to become rated, because all the events that you see him popping off at are here in the great state of Texas, but he does find yet another early stock with the Dr. Mario. SHADIC's Palutena goes the same way that his Marth does, and that is poorly, Kimona. Out comes the Peach. He's got to make something happen here, at least get a little bit of damage on both the Doc and the Ness, or else this will be a swift 2-0.
I am shocked that Beastly had the wherewithal to just hold the shield that entire time and just basically call out SHADIC and say, yeah, you're not looking for a grab. You're not looking for a combo. The soft nair combos?
Well, it was also the soft nair because of the Z-drop turnip. One of the things that Dr. Mario struggles the most with is his frame data, except for the up B, isn't all that fast, but when you give him the additional option of a frame 1 Z-drop turnip, that kind of goes away, and he has shield pressure aplenty. He was able to rack up already 92 onto SHADIC. He was doing dash-in up smash there. Not able to find it, though.
Great delay on that recovery from Beastly as well, but Peach Nair is Beastly in its own right, able to knock out that Doc, but back in comes the Ness. We didn't even have to see the Diddy Kong in the last game, and partially that's because of how good that Ness did against this Peach, a character that Beastly definitely has had a lot of experience against over the years, particularly in this matchup, and it is showing well.
Yup, SHADIC having a very hard time getting back down to the stage, and even with the high ceiling of Town and City, not going to be able to survive through that Ness up air. And only 16, now 35% onto the Ness. This is not looking great for SHADIC, because like you were talking about, the Diddy Kong has become like what he's more known for recently. We haven't even seen it yet. SHADIC has yet to have to contend it.
This is a really good showing right now, though, and against Ness, that little floaty nature, right? Sometimes he doesn't grab the ledge very quickly, and that pin can become a huge factor. And that's kind of what you expect. You would think that Corrin would do really well in that matchup. Beastly just kind of suffocated SHADIC in that first game. That was much more textbook Corrin versus Ness. Oh my God, SHADIC. How was that only 52%? That felt like he should be at 90.
It felt like a Rob Gyro combo, but unfortunately for SHADIC, the banana disappears a little bit too early. And I can say I was watching SHADIC and Anathema practice yesterday, and SHADIC might be better with the gyro than most Rob mains are. So the item combo is definitely on point for him. And Beastly about to be on the point of this Corrin sword if he can't do anything soon.
They're about to have skewers for lunch today, but no, Beastly able to stay alive. Only has SHADIC at 66% though, and meanwhile, he is definitely at kill percent. And SHADIC resetting that situation with the banana, potentially opening up the stage for the pin at the ledge. A little bit of a slip up right there though, quite literally Beastly able to take advantage to get his feet back on solid ground, and this can fall away for SHADIC in but an instant.
And it looks like it might be falling down to that bottom blast zone, down to that side blast zone, as a down tilt fair connect to some poor